there, beer tubers. Welcome back to another episode of Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews. Tonight we're going to take a look at a beer that I have actually been meaning to do for a long time. And no, I don't mean I picked this up in November, just getting into it now. I mean that I had access to this and drank the entire six-pack. Actually, I didn't drink the entire six-pack. My late fiance did. I bought, this used to be available in Nova Scotia, in Nova Scotia liquor stores, but I bought a six-pack of it just before it disappeared from Nova Scotia liquor stores, and just before I started, like literally 2 weeks before I started doing beer reviews. And by the time I started doing beer reviews in April 2011, I didn't have any of this left. We're going to take a look at a classic. We're going to take a look at Anchor Steam beer. Literally called Anchor Steam beer, made in San Francisco since 1896. This is a very classic style of lager, because I think, without looking at the label, I think it's kind of like all the lines. It's like the reverse of an alt beer, like an ale brewed like a lager. This is a lager brewed like an ale, where it's fermented at warmer temperatures using, of course, the bottom fermenting lager system. And this is one of the beers that reinvented the craft beer market in the United States. And this is one of the ones I think that it's been brewed since, it was brewed before Prohibition and brewed after Prohibition, and one of the survivors of that era. But it's one of the niche market styles. And of course now, San Francisco has become one of the hotbeds of the craft brew movement in general. Now it's got a long story on the bottle here, and I will try to read it. It says, Anchor Steam brand is virtually handmade with an exceptional respect to ancient art of brewing. The deep amber color, the thick creamy head, and the rich flavor all testify to our traditional brewing methods. Anchor Steam brand beer derives its unusual name from the 19th century, when steam seems to have been a nickname for beer brewed on the west coast of America under primitive conditions and without ice. There you go. The word steam may have referred to the pressure of natural carbonation developing in the beers. Today, the brewing methods of those days are a mystery, and for many decades, Anchor alone has used the quaint name Steam for its unique beer. Today, Anchor is one of the smallest and most traditional breweries in the world. San Francisco's famous Anchor Steam brand here is unique, and our brewing process has evolved over many decades and is like no other in the world. So yeah, Anchor Steam is a really historic beer as far as North American brewing goes. And I've had a number of Anchor products, reviewed a number of Anchor products on the channel before, and this is their flagship. So now I finally get a chance to take a look. Now this bottle, I'm trying to remember which one I picked it up at. I think I got this at Harvest Wines and Spirits down back in November. So, but yeah, it used to be available in six-packs and SLCs, and that was 4 years ago, so let's take a look. Ooh, yeah. That is nice looking. When you think lager and you pour it in a glass like that, that's not what you think of when you think lager. That is a sexy beer. That is, it's clear. I mean, it definitely looks filtered, crystal clear. There's not a lot of carbonation despite the 3 fingers ahead I've got at the top of my snifter. Looks very, very, it's hard to say. It almost looks like tea. It's very, rich amber, with a little bit of an orange hue down at the bottom where the beer becomes thinner. That is really pretty. Let me just try to get a quick picture before that head disappears, because I love how that looks. That is pretty. Grab my opener.
2 months. Got a drop. Yes, boys. It's been doing great. Never seen it better in my whole life. He's a changed man.
There. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's really gorgeous. I gotta say that as soon as I look at that, I'm like, oh my god, I want to take a sip of that. So let's give it a sniff. Sweet, mildly sweet now. It's like sweet and maybe a touch of herbal. Copper coin. A lot of that, of course, is, there's a big pile of head sitting on top of this beer. So it smells really nice. It's very sweet. It's almost like brown sugar sweet and maybe copper coin. It really smells nice. Bready, like brown bread. Oh my god, that smells good enough to drink. Let's put her down the hatch. Cheers. Oh, whoa. Ooh. See, it's been a while since I had this. When I first started drinking, first started doing beer reviews, I wasn't used to drinking a lot of the different beer styles. And I remember thinking that this one was a little harsh and that gave me heartburn when I first started doing beer reviews. And I let Neely drink the entire 6-pack. And, I had one just to try it. But I kind of wished, later on as time went on, I wished I had done a beer review of it at least. This one here, drinking it now, my god, that's a flavorful lager. A lingering earthy herbalness coating the back of the mouth. A candy sweet, caramel sweet, copper coin note that through the middle of the body. The body itself is, there's a little bit of thickness that kind of lays on the tongue itself, but it also disappears in a big effervescent puff of foam as it goes down the throat and gives you the impression that you're drinking a rather light beer, even if it's a little thick. If that makes sense at all. And you get some lingering tastes, along with that earthiness, you get a lingering taste of caramel and not metallic, but copper coin in the sense where you get that copper coin earthiness and that earthy herbal note. It's not like metallic like you get out of a standard, like a moose head or something like that, but it's just, it's almost like almond or walnut or something. It's very nutty. That is a very nice lager. That is a very fine lager, and of course, it really gives you it really gives you the indication, whereas this was kind of brewed at warmer temperatures, that it was fermented at warmer temperatures, and it does come across as a lager, yet it doesn't have, it almost tastes like an ale. There is a little bit of clean finish aspects. It's got that little bit of soda watery, crispy taste that you get from a lager, but it also it's loaded with flavor. It's medium bodied like an ale. And it's just a real nice mix of styles. And I gotta say, I really approve of that beer. That is tasty. Now, I haven't had Anchor's entire lineup. I've had their porter. I've had something else with them. I can't remember. I think I had their Bock. And I haven't had a bad beer from them yet. And and I had their Christmas ale. And you know what? None of it disappoints. And if you try this one here, buy it in a 6-pack. It won't disappoint you either. It probably helps to be more of a craft beer drinker than a lager drinker. But I would say that if you like your beer, if you like craft beer at all, give this a try. This is probably one of the epitomes of the style. And Hammer River Brewing Company here local in New Brunswick kind of modeled their Gammy steam beer off of this one. And that one is a really close match to this kind of style. And really, it does it quite well. And this one does it quite well. 4.25 out of 5. I really like this beer. I would certainly recommend anyone go out there and try it, because this one, if you like lagers at all, this is one of the finest lagers you can buy from the States. So, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer reviews. Hope I haven't ticked too many people off by saying Anchor Steam is awesome. But we'll talk to you folks later. Cheers. Oh yeah.